Hey, y'all. Speak Usman here with the Positive Vibe Show. I'm so excited today. I'm here with my best friends, Katie Farrell. She's with Project Positive Change, one of our visionaries. And we're going to be talking about these new programs that she's really starting. I'm so excited about it. Katie, how are you doing today?
I'm really good, thank you, Pete. Yeah, it's lovely to be here with you. Thank you.
It is. And so where are you at, Katie?
Physically?
Yeah, in the UK, is that right?
Yes, yes. Right here in the UK in Bedfordshire. So it's almost as central as you can get within the UK, just north of London.
I mean, it still just kind of blows my mind that here I am in the deep south of the United States and I'm talking to, I have some of my best friends I've never actually physically met. You know what I mean? That's just
It's amazing, isn't
it's
it?
an amazing new world that we're in for sure. So you've got this new program called the Catalyst for Life. You want to tell us about that and what it is?
Yeah. Oh, the Catalyst for Life is my business. That's who I
Sorry.
what I operate under. And the Catalyst really, the name for that came from, it just jumped out at me when I was training and qualifying as a coach, and I realized that's what I love being for somebody. It's that catalyst that helps them change from where the situation they're in right now to a better one that they're looking for, and helping them do that in a really effective and efficient, I don't want to say fast because it doesn't have to be fast, but it's helping somebody move from where they are now to where they'd much prefer to be in a really efficient, smooth and effective way. And um, and so my, I suppose the combination of my services that I offer is coaching at the heart of it, but I'm also a hypnotherapist, complementary therapist. So I bring a lot of that sense, the energy work, if you like, into it as well. So I do say I'm very much a left and right brain person that has all the energy and complementary work behind me and all that support and understanding. But I'm also very logical, so even my work I really see as helping to connect our brains, the logical brain with our heart and who we really are, the essence of who we are, and being able to reconnect with that and then play it out in our everyday lives. So we do have to be here having logical human lives. So it's helping somebody do that really effectively while still connecting to who they really are at their core. So the new program that I'm going to be running very soon. It's a 5-day challenge, I suppose you could call it, because it's really helping people to understand who they are and where they'd love to be, to get that vision. And I'm calling it Lights, Camera, Action, because I really see us as being the sort of almost like a creative producer of our lives, but also the main actor. So we're the ones who we're in charge of our own destinies. We're the ones who can say, do you know what? This story that I'm in right now, yeah, it's okay, but it could be so much better. There could be so many more highs to it. There could be so many more exciting twists and turns. So like in any good book or plot of a movie, it's really about elevating our life stories to be what we want it to be. Imagine from today is the start of a new book, a new chapter. So it's really about helping somebody to have that vision of what story do you really want to now create in your life? What changes could you make to, whether it's your work, your business, your health, relationships, this personal life, whatever it is. Let's look at where can we take it next? Where would you really love to be? And then having that mental clarity, but really connecting into, so what does that mean to you? Why do you want that to be that way? Who are you going to be in that? What's the essence of your character as the main actor, leading the way in this story? So that's where that theme has really come from, and developing that over 5 days with some very a number of tools and exercises to help you get the clear vision, but really connect to that vision completely. The essence of who you are, bringing in the energy to it and the emotion. When we understand why we want something to be different, we're so much more likely to be able to take the correct and inspired action to making that happen. And
Mm.
yes, we can sit and dream and visualize something over and over again, but until we actually take the action that's needed to really ground it into real life, what we're here doing, we're not really going to see the real impact, the power of that. So it's going to be helping people go through that process in a very sort of logical step-by-step nature, but really connecting on lots of different levels, so it's as powerful as it can be.
Oh, I so adore that. So what are you finding that the catalyst for life, what are you finding that people are missing, or what is it that is really, what's the main thing holding people back?
I find that the thing that's missing is people are feeling dissatisfied, is probably the closest word. It's but also a sense of guilty for feeling not completely fulfilled
Mm.
with what they have. So very often I work with people who they are successful at what they're doing, or they've had great careers, or they're in business and it's doing something that they love, but it's not completely ticking all those boxes. And it's helping them to connect with, sometimes that it's just a little tweak that needs to be made, or really understanding why they've chosen to create the business they've created, or understanding why the career that they have isn't completely fulfilling them. We all seem to be having these moments of waking up, whether you want to say it's an age thing or a what's going on generally universally, it's people are sort of getting this sense of, it's great, I've got a nice car, I've got a nice house, I've got a good relationship with my partner, or I've got the children I wanted, but there's something missing. And as I say, there's almost that guilt that comes with that for wanting more. And absolutely, we are in charge of our own stories, our own destinies. And if things aren't quite right, I help them to explore, really connect in with themselves, find out why is it, what's not quite right for you, what's missing, what's that missing element, and then helping them to use that as the basis to drive forward in the right direction for them. And very often, even if they come with, it's something about their business or it's something specific about their personal life, we are at the core, we're at the center of all of these aspects of the world that we live in. So when you start changing one thing, it has a domino effect on
Mm.
all those other areas of our lives. So I
As,
find when we make a tweak, a positive tweak, everything else just responds positively.
yeah, as you do one thing, you do all things, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And are you finding people, especially, I bet, I don't know if you've done the lights, camera, action, are you finding people that don't even realize that they're the main actor in their story?
Yeah, and it's amazing. Some people really feel as if they're um, either riding on someone else's tailcoats, or they're sort of on this surfboard and they're being carried along by the river or the ocean. That's they're riding this wave, and there can be that fear element of, what if that surfboard gets tugged away from underneath my feet, or what if that next wave is too big? And actually, it's about helping them to understand that they really are the surfer, the driver of that car, however, whatever analogy you want to use it. And it's lovely to see. And I think more and more people are coming to realize that they can be in charge, let's say. And
Mm.
it's just finding out how they can be and helping them to take that driver's seat rather than the passenger seat.
Did,
And I think you asked there about the lights, camera, action. Have I done it before?
mm,
And no, it's something new, but it's come from a group program that I've run a number of times called Rise and Shine, which is a bigger, more in-depth program. But sometimes that really resonates with people who already know they can be in charge and are ready to make those changes and make them happen. They just need some help with how to make it happen.
mm,
And the lights, camera, action is like a mini program, a mini version of that, to actually help people see they really can be. So they may not know it right now, but you really can be the driver, the producer of your own life story. From this point forward, let's make that decision. Let's make that conscious decision that you are going to be in charge from now on. Let's see, what are you going to write? What's going to
mm.
be the script? Who are going to be the main players within that for you? Who's the supporting cast?
Yeah, do you
Um,
think it's that people like sort of like get into this idea as when they're young of, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm supposed to become, and then they find themselves in their 40s or 50s or whatever age they are, and they've
yeah,
ticked all those boxes off, and yet it was never their real goal in the first place,
Passion.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many people know when they're going into, let's say, high school as it is over here? How many people know what they want to do? How many people know what opportunities there are out there anyway to explore? So we typically do spend that time. We're either led into it because we're following what our parents have done or think we should do, or you go with the flow. You know, you fall into, you know, the first job that comes along and you progress through that career ladder. And very often people will make the best out of that for themselves and, as I say, be quite satisfied. But then they get to that point, as you say, sort of in your 40s, 30s, whenever it might be, you go, hmm, I'm not quite where I thought I was going to be. I didn't know where I wanted to get to, but it doesn't quite feel right. It doesn't feel like me. And very often it's big changes in life that can cause that, can trigger those feelings, you know, whether it's being made redundant from work or um, yeah, parents going back to work, you know, a mum having had a career break and spending time with the family, bringing them up. And often it's not living through your children, but enabling them and trying to empower them to be who they can be, you know, letting them know you can be anything that you want to be and opening up the world for them. And then it makes them sit back and go, oh, actually, what can I do now? You know, now I've got some time on my hands. They're, you know, they're going off to school. They're becoming more independent, and I've got more time for me now. What can I do? Because going back to the career I was in before I had children doesn't feel right anymore. So it's very often those changes that have happened that give people the space, sometimes the time to sit back and go, how do I feel about this? I'm not sure it's quite right anymore. It doesn't quite fit me as nicely and smoothly as it did before. And what can I do?
It sounds like a real inner journey that's really, meant to sort of express itself outward, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And so do you have people sort of when you're saying like write the script and the lights, camera, action, are they actually how much of it are they scripted? How much are they leaving to kind of serendipity or whatever you want to call it? And how much of it is like do they work on the end game or because some people work on the end goals and some on mean goals, which is more your emphasis?
Well, to be honest, I'm probably a combination of the two because, and that's where this whole left and right brain combination of me comes in. And for me, it's very much about understanding that end goal, having that vision of what really does feel right for you. If you could do anything, what would that look like? And not only what would it look like, but how would it feel? And we need to really connect with the emotions of that. Even if you can't get a really clear picture, it's understanding how you want to feel. And most of us understand, we've been really happy, we've been really successful, even if it's just once, that we can remember in our lives. There's always a time that we go, oh, that just felt amazing. I'd love to feel that again. So it's helping them to connect with that and then break it down into, so what does that mean right now? What's the next step that we can take towards that? Because at the moment that may feel a very big leap, too big a leap from where we are right now. So it's helping them to break it down into more manageable bite-sized chunks and
Hmm.
actually think about, so we think about the end of a story maybe and how the real twist at the end of this plot that's going to happen, or the big cliffhanger. But actually, to get there, we have to go a chapter at a time and think about, what is the actor going to be like? What's that main character's main strength? What's their personality like? Who's going to be there supporting them along the way? And helping these ebb and flows of the storyline. So it's helping them to connect all those sort of dots together and bring it together for that one
Hmm.
epic book of their life.
And
and,
is
and
that
when I say their life, it's not about how they envisage, retiring. It's whatever feels right for you. Is it in a year's time? Is it in 5 years' time? We're all very different. For some people, me included, thinking 10 years ahead, oh, that's just too far ahead. Some people like to think a year at a time. Others are quite comfortable with 3 to 5 years and need that time to be able to plan things out. So it's very much about doing it in your own way that suits you, but giving you the tools and the support to make it happen.
And are those mean goals? Is that a way for you to kind of celebrate along the journey your accomplishments?
Absolutely. That is such a key part of it for us to stay motivated and incentivized, if you like, to keep, because it's not always easy when we're going through change.
Mm,
You know, it's the one consistent thing in life is change. How we ride those changes can be more difficult for some people than others. And one of the ways that we can actually use what we have in our bodies, the way that we're constructed as humans, is to give ourselves a bit of a drug hit. So a natural high. So when we do something and we acknowledge that we've done well, so when we give ourselves that pat on the back and go, "Oh, I really did a good job there," that gives us a natural dopamine shot. And that's the natural drug that gives us that boost. And each time we get that boost, it motivates us to keep going. You know, it's like if you're losing weight and the first time you step on the scales and you see they've gone down by a pound or two, you go, yes, you know, it's actually working. And then it helps you to keep going. So definitely we incorporate those natural highs into it, those rewards, recognizing where you've come from. And therefore, each time you look forward, that gap gets smaller and smaller.
And now, who is this challenge right for? Is it somebody that wants to start a new business or has a business, or could it just be like if you want to have more joy in your life, or who's this challenge
Yeah,
perfect for?
it can really be for anybody. That it doesn't matter what the change is, but just somebody who's ready. They're thinking, do you know what, I want something different. And whether that you know what that different thing is, or you're just not quite happy with where you are right now, it's it's if you're ready to change, if you're ready to invest the time and the energy into making that change happen, you know, if you're really ready to take the action, then it's right for you. um, so I'll be sharing some tools and techniques of how we can use our brain to its, you know, best capacity and potential, and connecting it to, as I said, our heart and soul as to who we are, and with some practical tools along the way as well. So it's not going to be too woo woo, and it's not going to be too logical. I like to think it's a nice sort of a midfield play, and bringing all of the best of all of those into one.
Awesome. And so, where can people kind of check it out, see if that's what they want to do or not? You say you don't have the challenge ready quite yet, right?
No, that's right. Yeah, kind of the challenge is ready to go. It's just getting the details up there
Mm.
for people. So I'm going to be posting details on the PPC website, and on my own website and Facebook. The PPC Facebook group and my own Facebook page, the Catalyst for Life. So yeah, keep watching and watch this space, and I'll be posting the details everywhere. But if you're interested and want to just stay on a kind of waiting list for information, you can drop me an email as well at katie@thecatalyst4life.com, and then I can make sure that you're posted with all the information as it's released.
Awesome. Well, I know it's going to be dynamic. Is there any final words for us today?
No, just if you have any questions, if that's sort of piqued your interest and you want to know more, you know, feel free to get in touch. If there's anything you haven't fully understood and you want me to explain more, please do. So yeah, it'd be great to have anybody who's, as I say, ready to make a change and just wants a bit of guidance and help with how to do that in the best way possible for them.
Awesome. Well, this has been Pete Kosman here on the Positive Vibe Show with my friend Katie Farrell, and talking about her new program coming up, The Catalyst, or actually, she is the Catalyst for Life. That's her program. Sorry, that's her business. And her new 5-day challenge, Lights, Camera, Action, that's going to kind of hopefully lead into her program, Rise and Shine, and then maybe even one-on-one with Katie. So, and we
Yeah.
will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you so much, Pete.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.